Alright, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about Hulk Hogan. Now he came back, 2 weeks ago? He comes out, it's cool. It's a cool moment. I'm enjoying it. It's Hulk Hogan, the most popular wrestler of all time. And when I say popular, I mean like in the real world. And, if you asked somebody, who's a wrestler, I'm sure most people would say Hulk Hogan, if you asked them, name a wrestler. So, he comes out, he's got the theme music, and it's just very cool to see him back in WWE where he belongs. It's home. WWE is, it's where Hulk Hogan, it's where Hulkamania was. So it was cool. It's a cool moment. Then he comes out and, he does this little spiel for like a minute or two, talks like, Hulk Hogan, cuts a Hulk Hogan like promo for like, I believe, for like a minute or so. And then he just goes on talking and he's like, oh, it's great to be back and shit. Then he just talks about the network for like 5 fucking minutes. And it's like, why? It's like everybody knows about the network. And it's not like, oh, if Hogan's gonna say, talk about the network for 5 minutes, it's not like he's gonna convince like a million people to just go out and buy the fucking network. I mean, you pretty much had your mind made up right when they announced the network launch, when the network, I think it was that January 8th, right when they announced that, you pretty much had your mind made up if you were going to buy the network or not. So just because, they have Hulk Hogan, the only reason they brought him back is to fucking, not the only reason, but like they're bringing him back to just promote the network. It's fucking annoying. It's like you already had your mind made up before Hogan starts cutting all these promos about the network. You had your mind made up, oh, I'm going to either buy a network or I'm not. Alright? And, for me, Hulk Hogan did not convince me to buy the network. Alright? So it's just retarded. Hulk Hogan, and then he comes out on this Monday, and, he's cutting a good promo about him and Andre the Giant at Mania, at WrestleMania. And I said in my Raw review, I wouldn't mind if they brought up WrestleMania 3 for a minute or two, talk about it, because it does have relevance now to, because it's WrestleMania, so I don't mind if they, come out and talk for a minute or two about Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant for Mania 3. Fine. But don't fucking create a whole fucking segment especially a whole fucking match around Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. I mean, yeah, it was a classic match. It was the most watched match in Mania or in WWE history. I believe, they said like something like 30 million people. I don't remember the exact number, but it was like the most watched moment of wrestling history or WWE history. But don't fucking, dwell back on that moment. Talk about it for a little bit, then go on to something else. But they're using it. They're like, oh, I remember when I body slammed Andre the Giant, and if you buy the network, you could watch it again. Or you could just go on fucking YouTube and watch it again. I mean, so don't fucking, use fucking Hogan to promote the network. Hulk Hogan come out, oh, you could go and watch all my great matches at WrestleMania, go order the network. It's like, shut up. Can we get a legitimate promo, a realistic promo from Hogan? Because he has charisma. He was cutting a good promo before he started talking about the network this week. Then he just starts talking about the network. Then of course Cena comes out and, trying to feed off Hogan's popularity. They're hugging and they're fucking high-fiving, and you get Hogan doing the fucking salute. I mean, I thought the salute was associated with the military, but somehow Cena's incorporated it into his entrance and gimmick. And it's just stupid. It's like, oh, I'm dedicated to the military. It's like everybody likes the military. I don't see Cena, involved in the military any more than anybody else is. They're like, oh, Cena's the most, supporter. He's the biggest supporter of the U.S. troops. It's like everybody supports the troops pretty much. I do. But you don't see WWE going out and saying, oh, CM Punk is a big supporter of the troops, or Daniel Bryan is, because they try to put that title on Cena. They just try to put all the titles on Cena. Oh, the guy who was granted over 400 wishes at Make-A-Wish. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything, but they use it to fucking promote his ass. There's I mean, there's other people that do Make-A-Wishes too, and you hardly hear about it. And the only reason he has 400 Make-A-Wishes is because WWE tells him to do it. I mean, he wouldn't have. I mean, they always say, "Oh, you're so busy as a WWE superstar." Well, obviously Cena isn't that busy because he's doing all these fucking Make-A-Wishes all the fucking time. So he is busy, but WWE makes time for him to do these Make-A-Wish things, just so they could promote him as this great guy and everything. So yeah, there's my little rant there on a little bit on Cena, but mostly on fucking up Hogan's return. It could have been a lot better, and they announced it like 3 days before it was gonna happen, so it did not seem like a big deal. It didn't seem like a big fucking deal at all. They should have promoted it like a month in advance or 3 weeks in advance, like they did Batista. I mean, Batista's return felt more special than Hogan's, but Hogan's was still special. It's just like, it just didn't feel special. I mean, I think the news was first broke by TMZ or some other website. It wasn't broke by WWE. So I mean, it just felt a little rushed and shit, the return. But I'm glad he's back. I'm glad Hogan's back. He does have charisma. He is one of the greatest, most popular wrestlers of all time. So I'm glad he's back, and hopefully he stops fucking talking about the network. Oh yeah, go watch my matches on the network. Go pay $10 to see the night. Shut the fuck up. All right, we've heard enough about the network. Now they're telling us how to download it. I've said it in my Raw review. You have to be a fucking dumbass, right? I don't know if it was a Raw review, but or some other video. You have to be a dumbass if you don't know how to download the fucking network. Just like you have to be a dumbass. You have to be twice a dumbass of a dumbass who doesn't know how to download the network to be a dumbass. I know this might sound confusing, but you have to be twice of a dumbass to not know how to download the app. I mean, they were just shoving that down our throats. Oh, download the app, and here's how you do it. It's pretty obvious how to download a fucking app. If you don't know how to download an app, you're pretty retarded. Alright, so I mean, I'm glad Hogan's back. Hopefully he just cuts more promos. Maybe he'll have an in-ring promo with the Real Americans, because they could tie it in. Oh, Hogan's a Real American, and the Real Americans with Cesaro, Swagger, and Coulter. Maybe have a promo between those three guys. Some younger guys looking to become bigger guys in the company. Cena's already a big guy in the company. We don't need Hogan promoting him. Alright, we need Hogan cutting promos with Cesaro and Swagger. And the guys who need to get over more, not Cena or any, not these, more over guys. Cena's not an over guy, not these guys that are higher up in the company. So, they're just fucking up Hogan's return on every fucking level. It's very hard to fuck up Hogan's return too. That's the thing about it. I mean, even I can do a better job of I could do a 10 times better job at Hogan's return than WWE's been doing. All you gotta do is give him a fucking microphone and put him out there and tell him to say something, and it would be 10 times more entertaining than this. Oh, buy the network, people. Go pay $10 a month. Shut the fuck up. Alright, so this is my little rant on Hulk Hogan's return. Not Hulk Hogan. I'm not ranting on Hulk Hogan. It's a rant on how WWE has handled Hulk Hogan's return. So there you go, people.